And it says we are live, but I can't see myself. I don't know if you guys can see me or not. I'm here. You're beautiful. I guess that means it's time for GotBot Goes live. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe. And while you are at it, light up my baby. Hit the notification bell. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And we have a bunch of stuff to cover tonight. I don't know how well it's going to cover. I mean, we have 2 people in here. It says live, but for some reason, I don't have a camera. I don't know if you guys can see me or not. Hi, Caldeo. Caldeo, can you see me? Can you hear me? I guess I'll ask. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you could see me. I guess I'll get stuff set up, but I can't see me at all. So if stuff's going off the screen, guys, I really, really am sorry. Thanks, Franzese, for being our Super Chat super fan, and thank you for the birthday wishes. We'll get to all of that in a little bit. If you guys can see me, that's all that really matters, isn't it? If I can't see me, it must be a glitch on my end. But as long as you guys can see me, then we're all good. And who knows, maybe it'll come through. But I'm gonna keep checking, because if something happens and you guys can't see me, then we got a whole different problem. We're gonna talk about Transformers 1. We're gonna talk about the reveals from Tuesday. We're gonna talk about Dr. Wu a little bit. We're gonna talk about Kang Toys a little bit. We're gonna talk about the end of Earthspark. We'll talk about all of that and so much more. I'll kind of recap some of what I got here for my birthday. One thing that I got that I didn't expect I was going to have for my birthday, I'm glad to have. We'll do the actual unboxing for this week. And I was hoping to have something today that's actually going to arrive tomorrow, so it'll be next week's unboxing. Let's check in with you guys. I appreciate it, Keldeo. I can see you last one. No chat box. This is so weird. Hey, Sea Seeker. Sorry that you're coming in, Sea Seeker, at a time where, for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Anyway, hey, Leebird. You guys let me know if something happens and you can't see me. Hey, Darren. Hey, DJ. Can see you and hear you. Strange. So strange that I can't. Hey, Terry. Okay. Anyway, how about we dive right into the news and get to it? I wonder if I can still share screens with you guys. Let's see if I can still share screens. Let's try with, what is this? Let's try with this first. Are you guys able to see the screen? Because I can't tell if it's actually after coming up here or not. I literally need you guys to tell me if you can see it. Hey, Flair. Yes, okay, you can see it. Okay, so it's Jazz. This is the Bingo Toys version of Jazz. And you know what? Not for nothing, I don't really have a problem with it. I like this. Yes, this is like grayscale. No, I don't know what the actual scale and size will be. I'm figuring that this is a bit of a Cybertronian mode take. He has his door wings. I look at this and I get a lot of vibes of Feel the Shield Jazz. Nicely sculpted. Looks like the wings can fold back. I don't know if they can fold down to get out of the way, but that'd be really cool if they could also pull that off. I'd love to see this colored. You see the huge speakers and just the shape of the car here. It's obviously not a Porsche, but if it's painted right, I think this could be a really cool looking Jazz. I'm still thinking Cybertronian mode-ish, but it's hard to tell when we just have a grayscale. Like, that looks like a thruster on the end of it. You know, his spoiler looks great. I mean, it's definitely stylized, and I don't know what the intention is for it to scale, but I'm intrigued by what that way. I'm intrigued by what I'm seeing. So, we're going to stay here. Hold on. I'm going to close that one out. And we're going to go next to here. Can you guys see the next screen? What? It gives me Chrome Dome vibes. I can actually really see how that would give you Chrome Dome vibes. I'm right there with you, honestly. I think it's pretty rad too, honestly. Looks like a Cybertronian mode. Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. Hey, Ultra Megatronus, Blue, Big M. As people come in here, guys, you may notice that this is a little bit of a weird show tonight because for some reason, my camera is not showing up on my end. So I literally can't see what's on the screen. So you guys can see what's on the screen. Of course, you can see that this is Swoop. And you can see what he's in scale with there. And like, I'm going to now, people have been concerned that Swoop's not a real leader class. Look at it next to Sandstorm. Sandstorm is slated as a leader class. It is shorter than Voyager class 86 Blaster. It's shorter than a Voyager. And the mass is there. I could even take shorter if the mass was in there. For example, Siege Ultra Magnus was shorter than Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, but was actually 10 grams more because the mass was in the body. I really like Sandstorm, but he is absolutely not leader class. Do not pay full price for Sandstorm. He is not worth full price. He is great to get, but on sale, and this proves it. Swoop, on the other hand, I do think is a leader. Now, it may be the least leader of the 5 Dinobots, but I do think he's a leader. And you can see him here right next to Snarl, and Snarl is absolutely a leader. I think the reason the other 3 in the back look taller is not because they are taller, but just because of the angle and the foreground and the background and whatnot. I think they're all about the same height. But you know, I really like this. And again, look at Voyager Ironhide. I mean, come on. But like, no, I think it's really good. I like Swoop. I love, hold on. I love the wings. I love the way that the wings are folded up on the back. It's nice. They're out of the way. I heard that this was the sticking point with them, how to do the wings. But if this is what we got for the weight, then I think it was worth it because I think that these wings are really splendid in both modes. Like, I get that they look like robotic wings here rather than kind of curved dino wings, but this is the way it looked on the show. It was more triangular like this. So I absolutely dig it. I think it looks great. We also have, let's see. We also have Hot Wheels Brotherhood like this, I think. Because, of course, we also have the Hot Wheels, I guess the product images for Optimus and Bumblebee. And I'm not going to lie, they look pretty cool. I think they're also doing that skateboard version of Optimus as well. Swoop looks rad. He really does. I'm glad that we're bringing back the word rad. I like the word rad. Anyone interested in the Hot Wheels Optimus Prime? I mean, I think it looks cool, but like, I'm not a Hot Wheels guy. I think you got to be a Hot Wheels guy for it, right? Or maybe you got to be a transport truck guy. I think his dino feet are too small. Maybe his dino feet are too small. And guys, if I'm missing stuff, I apologize because I'm trying to do a lot here. But yeah, I mean, back to the Hot Wheels here. Like, yeah, it's a great looking Optimus. It's obviously very cohesive. I wish that the tires had a little more detail on them. They have. Like, there's a thin line there, like white walls or something, but I just wish there was a little bit more. But other than that, I think it looks good. Smokestacks are kind of low, but I understand why. Bumblebee, I mean, it's a yellow V-Dog with an Autobot symbol. I mean, yeah, it looks fine. It looks fine. I like the hubcaps or the rims, whatever you want to refer to it as. I like the look of the detailing on the back. Same with Optimus. Like, I like the back of the truck and stuff. It's all right. I mean, I'm not a Hot Wheels guy, so to each their own, of course. Let's go to our next thing. I don't know why I'm not coming up there. It's so weird. Let's do this. So Transformers 1. Let me just check in with you guys here. We need Optimus B and all of the Stunticons as Hot Wheels, then put them in the, what? Crisscross Crash set? Sure, why not? Why not put them in the Crisscross? That's a good idea, actually. Got Missing Link Prime recently, so I'm good. That's fair. That's fair. If you got the Missing Link Prime, I kind of don't get why you would need that one. But that's not the only Hot Wheels one. I think I know the one you're referring to, so we'll get to that in just a little bit. Hey, Sovereign. I'll leave it in the package. I mean, I don't see the point of buying anything if you're only going to leave it in a package. Leave it on the shelf. You can look at a package in the store without having to spend any of your money. I don't see the point in buying something only to leave it in a package, but that's just me. Also, I noticed an audio delay. Maybe there is an audio delay. Honestly, Keldeo, like I said, for some reason, things are acting wonky with YouTube tonight, and I don't know why. Sorry about that. And I'm sorry if anybody else is encountering problems, even like I'm encountering. Nevertheless, Transformers 1 showed off a bunch of product stuff like this B. I mean, I don't think this looks good for B127. I do like the alt mode. It's basically very Cybertronian, so I like that, but I'm not struck on the robot mode. I mean, to each their own. If you like it, cool. I'm not hating on it. It's just, I don't think... I think the yellow is a little too washed out for me. It reminds me of the that one was the movie Bumblebee. I think it might have come with a couple of cassettes or something. It was like supposed to be like a premium finish, but it was like a very like light goldy color. That feels like this, and I don't like this shade of yellow. I like a deeper yellow, I guess. And I don't think this has knees, which to me is a bummer. This looks like trash. Whatever this Optimus is utter garbage. I'm assuming that this is the Energon Glow Optimus, maybe. I mean, no knee, no elbow. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. I do, however, like this. This is the Quintesson High Commander, and I do think that looks really, really cool. If I'm being perfectly honest with you. I would like to get it to go with my Quintesson forces, even though it's more of a stylized Quintesson than my Earthrise stuff. But man, oh man, this could easily stand in for like a scientist or some such thing. Maybe even executioner. I do know what it turns into. I'm assuming this is meant to be some sort of Quintesson ship, I'm guessing, but I don't know that for sure. Obviously, the heads here don't change, but it does have a very Quintesson feel to it. I'd like to know how big exactly that is. But I like this. I like Quintesson. I'm glad we're getting some forces. This is garbage. This is just more gimmicky junk that's not going to sell and stock on shelves. Pretty sure this is a repack from Cyberverse with a different bobble on the front. That kid looks real happy to be having that garbage Megatron. I think this is the ultimate Energon Optimus Prime, and like it's an okay robot. A little more silver at the torso and than I'd like, but I don't like. To me, this is an okay robot, but this is not an okay truck. This is not a good truck. You have to know that this is a good truck. It's so bad. It's one of the worst modes I've ever seen for Optimus. His axe, I think that's cool. I do like the Matrix. I also think that's cool. And there you go. So all of those, a lot of gimmick. I will show this. They got these little racers. There's Optimus and Megatron. They're cute. They line right. Those kids are having super fun racing Megatron and Optimus. There's this other repack with Optimus, Megatron, and I'm not even sure who this is. Mirage, maybe? I don't know. I don't really care. I'm not going to lie to you. I really don't care because, like, look at this. You know, like, are you buying this? That's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that looks that great. I really don't. I think the star was shown here is the Quintesson. But that's just me. If you see something you like, I mean, cool on you, right? Be happy, I suppose. Be happy, I suppose, is the best thing I can say to you. Let's check in with you guys here quickly before I go on to the next one. Mirage, that's what I'm thinking. That truck sucks. It really does. It's so bad. It's not from Cyberverse RID 2015. Either way, it's just more old line stuff, you know, repackaged in a new box. And guys, if I'm missing stuff, I apologize. Again, I can't see my camera for some reason tonight. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, which means I'm having to do a lot of guesswork here with what you guys are seeing. I hope it's going all right so far. Hasbro needs to stop making this trash. It just clogs up shelf space. It does. Like our shelves here are chock-a-block, but it's all that gimmicky junk, one-step trash from Rise of the Beast. It's 99% of it is that junk, and it's just been there for months and months and months. Here, they don't mark anything down. It's just there, and it's not selling. It makes your product look bad. It makes it look like people aren't going to buy it because you're not stocking the stuff that people want to buy. You're stocking the junk because somebody has convinced you that there are kids' toys and kids will like them. Kids aren't stupid. They know garbage from good. Hey, Lone Dragon. Oh, it could be Blur. It could be Blur. That's a good guess, too, I think. Good guess, man. Okay, let's go to the next one here with what we got. Let's see. How about this? How about this? So I talked about this. It's Broadside. It's meant to go with the Micromaster scale of Dr. Wu. This is with Mechanic Studio, something like that. And I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about it, really, because we've seen it before. Very, very kind of toy accurate. I don't think I've ever shown the images before is the thing. Mode looks, I think that's the little Micromaster Dr. Wu Optimus. I think that I think it's too big. Honestly, I don't think that this is the correct scale at all. I get that he's bigger, but I would put him more the size of Jetfire. Again, Commander size, he's not this big. I don't know. But I do like this. And I think it could probably go with a mainline collection, to be honest with you. Very clean road. He has an axe and a blaster. This is what I mean by G1. Very blocky plane that you look at and you're like, how does that thing fly? But somehow, as if by magic, it does. Because it has wings, I guess. His aircraft carrier mode thing. Like, I think this looks really good. Honestly. Good on you, Dr. Wu and Mechanic Studio. I think you got a deeper hit here that I think a lot of people are probably going to like, whether they want it for this scale or a different scale, because I feel like this guy could probably, I feel like he's about a Voiderish size, probably, maybe. I can't verify that for sure, but if he is, like, he would fit in with Spring Sandstorm. Nice. Real nice. Let's take this out. And not for nothing, but I'm going to try and show this now as well. So if you don't like the, I guess the mainline offering for Elita 1, you do have options. This is a Legends class by Dr. Wu, and I don't know, maybe this is cross Mechanic Studio as well. The broadside is, I believe, 12 centimeters tall. She is, maybe the broadside is more like a deluxe size. I think he's like 12 or 13 centimeters tall, and I believe she's 10 centimeters tall, which is about 3/4 inches, right? Roughly. She certainly has a back. This is obviously their RC mold, but you know what? Like, she really does kind of own it. I think the thighs are a little thick for her, but the coloring is all there. The head sculpt is all there. The pink is where it should be. White is really where it should be. Kind of darker pink, fuchsia, red on her chest is where it should be. Then we get to, oh, and not for nothing, but great articulation. She's holding her blaster. She's doing nice knee pose, big feet to have solidity when she stands. But then this, and this to me looks very RC-ish. Although I will say this, they did certainly try and remold the canopy top and add these on to try and give it more of a rounded, bulbous vibe. Now, that said, I look at this and I think, yeah, there's a lot of strong vibes here for RC. I think it's acceptable for Elita 1, no problem, because we have only like 1 or 2 very minor screens from G1 that show her alt mode, and it's like, it's the sort of thing where you can interpret it a number of ways. So I think that this will fit in just fine. We know that she is by rights, even though Power of the Primes would have us believe she was a plane, and I like Power of the Primes. A lot of people hate it. I love it. I think that this car mode is all right. Allie, it looked like they're calling her, but like, I think this is not right. Yes, you look at it and you think RC, but I think there's enough added to it, changed from it, that, you know, even like down like the head detail coming up the trunk, Like, I think this could pass for an Elite 1 mode. Maybe it, like the front here is what does it for, makes me think RC. I think it's the here. Otherwise, I think it's okay. I think with what they were working with, and for Legend Sale, I think that this was really good. That's that sword that came with like Titan Hunters or whatever it was. Free pack, her gigantic sword from that. Which looks really cool. So yeah, she's really neat. I like her. It's not the Elite 1 for me, but for a Legends collector, I think she looks really good, and I love the engineering and the robust plastic that Dr. Wu tends to use. Let's go to here. And let's check in with you guys a little bit. You can probably see that I just brought up Springer, and we're going to talk about him now in just a second. Let's see. That truck is competing with Bumblebee movie Soundwaves pancake mode. That's good. Hey, no. Hey, Ken. Hey, Lion. I know I've missed some stuff, guys. Again, I can't see myself on the screen, and I'm just trying to kind of keep up with what I'm doing here. What? Race Chargers is not a great great bane. Should have stuck with bot shots, maybe. I mean, I didn't care for bot shots either. I don't like the little chibi stuff. But again, to each their own. There are people who do. As we go down here a bit. No pass. My kids know trash from good bots. Exactly. Exactly. When people say it's for kids, stop insulting kids and their intelligence. Just re-release Earthrise Prowl already. You have the reuse, and that was impossible to get you, and you had no problem. Yeah, I mean, they done the whole battle damage one, but a lot of people missed out on that Prowl. I think he should be reissued as well. I agree with you, Lone. Hey, Marcus. Let's see. Let's go down here a bit. Finally, Chug Broadside. Like, I feel like he could work as a Chug Broadside. The amount of accessories should not affect the price tag on one product. Okay, so let's talk about Springer here for a few minutes. So a lot of people lost their minds and got really excited with the reveals from Tuesday. I think it was abysmal for the most part, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. But I specifically focus here on Springer. So the original Seed Springer, which I have right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. I hope you can. If you can see that, I have the original one. A lot of people have it. A lot of people skipped it, said the engineering was a bit fiddly around the chest, and they stuck with the Generations. That's cool. The Generations to this day is pretty much a perfect transformer. But let's say you did go in on this guy like I did. The first problem a lot of people had was they didn't like the battle damage on the chest or on the shoulder pieces. You may notice mine doesn't have that. I removed it from the chest, and I got saffron yellow, which is the exact yellow that's used here, and I painted these over. And my only gripe with this guy was I didn't like his helicopter blades. I'll admit the all green helicopter blade all in one piece is a nice change here. But I happened to happen on, because of stuff like me, a spare Generations Springer sword, which I use right in there as his, and of course I open it up as his rotors. So I don't really need the other sword here, and I don't really use the rotors that came with this guy. I use the Generations one. Then we have a little bomb thing. I'm sure that that's one hollow piece. We have another little rifle, and we have the two blasters that this guy comes with. The rifle would be nice. Then when it comes to parts that are changed, the head sculpt is different. The paint on the face is different. The face itself is different. The little holes on the side of the helmet of this guy are filled in on the 86. Chest piece is now remodeled to no longer have blast effect nubs. So if you want to use this for display, you can put blast effects on the chest of the new one. And two lines kind of come down here on the chest. There's a whole new back piece here that has two additional pieces on it. And actually what they did is they made this piece on the shoulder so it can angle out. It is attached by a mushroom peg. However, this one Underneath, it's all good and solid. The new one is hollow. And and there's new thighs. So yes, there's remolded parts. But here's the thing. You're just changing out the shoulders. You're just changing out the thighs. You're just changing out the chest, and you're just changing out the head. You didn't add anything. So it's the exact same as this. The only things that you add is a mushroom peg so that these can angle out. And if the mushroom peg isn't tolerance perfect, these are going to be flippy floppy. And a blaster, an unnecessary sword, and a bomb thing. And then you doubled the price. And then yes, here it's exactly double the price. I said that today on Facebook, and some doofus, I don't remember, it starts with an E, some doofus said, it's not double the price with an eye roll. And I said, actually, it is double the price because, and I speak for where I live. But let's go back in time, my American friends, because I assume that's where he's from. In 2019, this was $40 Canadian, $39.99. I bet you in the US at that time, a Voyager was probably what? You guys tell me. 2019 Siege, $25 for a Voyager? That sound about right? $25 for a Voyager in 2019. Could somebody confirm that for me? Am I right? Was like Springer and his like in the US $25? 30-ish. 30-ish. Okay, 30-ish. The new one here in Canada is $80. Literally double this. Literally double the price. In the US, it's $55. Almost double the price. And I can guarantee you this is going to have less mass than even Sandstorm. If you don't like the Generations or don't have it, if you don't have the Siege and you want to get this, go for it. But you either have to be okay with being taken advantage of because it is not a leader, or wait for it to go on sale. Personally, I think if you have the Siege, I mean, other than the shoulder tilting out, there's not really anything any different worth noting on it. I think the washed out yellow and the washed out green look way worse than this. So if you are in for it and you think it's wonderful, cool, I'm happy for you. And if this was an update and it was still being sold as Voyager, I would say, hey, I get it. It's more expensive. Voyager is more expensive, but they're giving you more here. But they're trying to make a very minimal investment by giving you some empty bomb missile piece, an extra sword and a blaster, and then make the shoulders. You didn't need to remold anything. He was fine the way he was. You absolutely didn't need to remold any of that. I think this looks like a great Springer. I don't think it's worth a leader class price. I don't think it's close to a leader class price. I do think it would definitely be worth getting on sale at about a Voyager class price. And I stand by that because there's just not enough here. And you see them compared here side, like you can see the difference in the back. Yeah, I give credit where credit is due. No, looking at the whole package, just not enough for me. Does he look? He looks great, no doubt. Looks great. I think that this is a great Springer. I don't like the hollowness, shoulder pieces. I don't like how high they are up from the wheel, and I don't like the drab washed out colors on him. But that's just me. Maybe you do. Let's just check and see what you guys are saying, because I know that that's a bit of a hot topic, hot button topic, right? 30-ish, $27.99. Okay, so if he was $27.99, then at $55, he's, yes, double the price. And I know that there are countries outside of Canada, outside of the US, where that discrepancy between Voyager and leader class is more than double the price. I paid $29.99 for Springer. There you go. Can't wait for the AOI or Huawei Springer with all of those parts. You know what? I wouldn't even be shocked if like AOI Mech done something like that for sure. Hey, Joseph, I'm curious, is anyone aware that Hot Wheels made a Transformer G1 Optimus Prime and it's all metal? Of course, Joseph, everybody knows that, but we're going to get there in a minute. We're not there in the news yet, but yes, everybody knows that. But we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. So disappointed in 86 Springer, not worth the switch, too much money. I agree, because that's the thing. It's not like you're just replacing a Voyager with a Voyager. They're asking you to look at what you spent on this 5 years ago and double that to get one whose shoulder tilts out. That's basically what they're asking you to do. If you're cool with that, cool, man. I'm happy for you. Let's see as we go down here a little bit. Where was that? Only the first one had loose knees. Mine didn't have loose knees. I did hear of that issue, but mine doesn't have the loose knees or the loose ankles that people complain about. Let's see. So go down here a bit. Lots of collectors will be selling the Siege to get the 86. Make sure to take advantage to anyone who wants this mold. And you know what? You're probably right. But here's the thing. When people say, I'm going to sell all that one off, if that's what everyone's doing, then nobody's going to buy it. You know, you're certainly not going to get the price you want for it. Why don't they sell accessory packs? Good question. Fire, I'm right there with you. That's an excellent, excellent question. That's money being left on the table. I agree with you, buddy. That Hot Wheels Prime is $80. Yes, we're going to get to the Hot Wheels Prime. We're not there. You guys get ahead of me sometimes. Let's see our next thing. Let's see our next thing. I think, you know what? Why don't we get the Tuesday stuff out of the way, and then we'll talk about the Hot Wheels. How about that? Let's do that. Okay, they should do accessory blast effects packs. They've done a couple, but again, they were Pulse exclusive nonsense, right? But I agree with you guys. I agree with all you guys, honestly. Okay, so I don't know anything about Beyblades. Our kids had them. I know you rip them out and they spin around in the thingy and they battle each other and they do the thing and the stuff. So if you're into Beyblades, cool. It's not my thing. But if you're into it, I mean, they're doing the crossover and that's neat, I guess. And that was shown. Then they showed this. This looks like crap. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm going to get it because Starscream wife is there and she's pulling out a bag and she's doing it slowly, like she's trying to be quiet, but she has headphones on. So I don't think she realizes just how loud she's actually being. Sorry. She's trying to get a snack because she's watching something. Anyway, back to Steeljaw here. Like, I want a Steeljaw. And I want one that works with the 86, or in my case, the Kingdom blaster. And this will. But this looks terrible. The main is just too square. I already have, thanks to our buddy Joe, the things that go in Blaster's hands, the speakers. The speakers don't look like this. Like, I don't like the speaker. This guy's got paint in his mouth and stuff, but so much is missing here. Like in the cassette mode, only one of the spools is painted. The lower section of his paw, just before his paw, like the forearm of his paw, we'll say, all of that should be gray or black, not all yellow. There's, other than forward and back because they're pinned, there's no articulation in the paws. How come there's no, knee? How come there's no, how come there's not a ball joint that they're able to move out on? If you're going to say it's transformation, you guys are charging an arm and a leg for a little core class. We deserve better. The eyes are blue. And while I'm all about the Autobots having blue eyes, they're not supposed to be on him. They're supposed to be gold, not yellow, gold. There's a lot wrong with this guy. It's not their best offering. If this is definitely not the best they can do. I'm royally disappointed in this. Like I said, I'm going to get it, but like, this doesn't look like a cassette. This looks terrible. Looks really awful. I'll get it, but I can't say I like it. This is the barricade mold being used as a generic Decepticon. Fun transformation, excellent molding, great look, garbage articulation. That's it. That's as dynamic as you're getting with that mold. You are not going to get any more dynamic than that. By the way, this looks like Master Chief to me, except I believe Master Chief would be far more articulated. I do like this. This is Skywarp. My only problem with it is, where's the black? I see an awful lot of gray. I see purple. And for some reason, I see his wings angled down instead of being angled up. And for some reason, rather than having the common Seeker head, he has the head of the Bumblebee movie Blitzwing. But purple, Skywarp. I will say this. This is a fantastic mold. I have it as my Liege Maximo, courtesy of the Armada version of, not Armada, sorry, the I'm going to call it Armada Thrust because it's the green thrust, right? We know that we have this mold a few times now. Like you can build a nice group of Seekers from this mold with at least the original 3 of Starscream, Thundercracker, now Skywarp. And of course we have Thrust as well. And you know what? It's a fun mold. Yeah, I get that this is a weird looking alt mode. But man, it's fun to get here. It's a fun transformation. It's really smooth. It's really, really well done. It's just fun. Springer we already talked about. Like I said, it looks fine. I don't like the washed out colors, but it looks fine. By the way, these kind of green pieces here in car mode, they're new. And they seem to be hinged, which, you know, that's fine. But again, it's not a leader. It's definitely cool. I definitely think it's probably worth getting. I cannot, here in Canada, I cannot see $80 in value here. I just don't see it. Straxus, I was really excited for this. I was like, it's going to be from the Galvatron mold. It's a partial of that. And then they said, Pulse exclusive. Well, that disqualifies me. I can't get it. So that's disappointing. I like the alt mode personally. I think that this looks really cool, but I guess I'll just have to stick with the old deluxe Straxus. Is all I could do. Again, Hasbro leaving money on the table. You do so much bad business and make so many bad decisions, and you leave so much money on the table. If I was one of your investors, I would be so unhappy with how you're running this business. So unhappy. Bumblebee, this is terrible. This is awful. Really, really awful. It doesn't look anything like Bumblebee. I'm sorry. This is hubcap. They might have put rounded feet on him to make it Bumblebee, but this is obviously hubcap. There's nothing other than the very front. There's nothing about this that says Bumblebee to me. Nothing at all. I don't like this. And like their big thing is no parts forming. You do realize that you could 3D print or buy an adapter so that none of the mold that's like this needs to be parts formed. None of it. That back piece, stay on every single one. And what? You're calling it a big deal because you came up with an armature and you had to source that out to Japan because you couldn't come up with it yourself? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you like this, again, you win, but like $40 for a completely inaccurate Bumblebee doesn't fly with me. Now, what I expected, what a lot of people expected, was that they were going to take the Netflix Bumblebee, which is a VW bug, and repaint it in this lighter yellow, and I guess this grayish black. But that's not what they did. That's not what they did. That head is the same as the Netflix head. I don't know. I don't, of all of these, you know what? None of it excited me. The Springer is overpriced. The B doesn't look right. The Steeljaw is not a good Steeljaw, though I'm going to get it. This guy is a Pulse exclusive that I cannot buy. I already have the mold. I don't need that Skywarp, and that's not a great mold. I thought it was a really disappointing fan stream. If you liked it, I mean, cool, I'm happy for you. But that doesn't mean that all hope is lost either, because, and I got to find it now. Yeah. Because we have this. So this is the pipeline thing. For the love of God, will you stop with the G1 Toy Accurate Optimus Prime? For the love of God, honestly, you've done 2 versions of the Missing Link. You've reissued the one times. There's the Hot Wheels one that's all diecast that we haven't even talked about yet. And now you're doing a deluxe G1 Optimus Prime, and people are going to look at it and they're going to say, yeah, okay, cool, he comes with an axe, comes with his blaster. He won't have a trailer because he's Lux. He's going to have yellow eyes. We'll say, that's not right. All you're doing is retreading old ground that you've tread a billion times over. Stop it. The Optimus Primes, man. Then there's going to be a toy accurate version of the Voyager Metal Hawk, apparently. I don't know why we want that, but okay. Then we're getting game calling Leader Soundwave, and he's going to come with 3 cassettes. Now, please, can somebody please, because they said that this is going to be the Netflix Soundwave with 3 cassettes. How come the previous Netflix Soundwave that came with 2 cassettes was not a less price? it was about $10 more than a Voyager, but it was his own price point. How come all of a sudden is adding one more cassette making the leader class price? What you should be doing is replacing the garbage that you had to buy before that turned yellow and not charging them for. You should just be replacing that because they already gave you their hard-earned money and you had business. So I think this Soundwave is going to be very popular, but make no mistake, you and I, because I'm sure I'm going to have to replace mine, 100% being taken advantage of. And I'm getting real sick tired of being taken advantage of by a toy company. Okay, get real now. We're getting we're getting a Voyager version of Armada Galvatron from Armada Megatron. We're getting Quake. I assume that the little battle masters that are target masters he's going to come with are much like the ones that came with Needle Nose, which aren't great. I have Titans Return Quake, and I've actually given him 2 C masters with 3D printed turrets, so I'm not replacing that. I know he's a headmaster, heaven forbid, but I'm not replacing that. It's so good, so good. We're getting a core class version of Energon Galvatron, of course, following up from the core class Megatron. We're getting a modal repaint of Boulder Crash. We don't know what it's called yet. We're getting I don't know what this is. What is this? Let's see if I can see what that is. Went down here. I probably shouldn't have gone out of this until Hawk. Oh, that's animated Motor Master. If you need animated Motor Master, like this looks really good. Soundwave. And what was this one? Hold on. Oh, yes. Slipstream. The Slipstream is going to be from the United Windblade. Interesting choice. I'm not hating on it. I have Blue is probably going to be happy. I told him he really likes the Blue. You're here, right? You really like that Windblade. It's your Windblade of choice. I said I'm not getting her. You and I talked about that because you made a guess a little while ago. I was like, man, I'm not getting her. I'm not interested in her. And no more, I'm not interested in her. But I might consider a Slipstream. I'm not sure because I do have the BotCon like first edition Starscream Slipstream, and I don't know if this is going to be able to be any better than that. Although that does have a misassembled bicep that drives me nuts. Doesn't affect anything, but it drives me nuts. Let's check in with you guys here a little bit again, because I know I said a lot of stuff there, and I'm sure some people are, losing their mind because this has GotBot talking, spitting some truth at you that not everybody is going to agree with, because, that's what we do around here. Store near me sold Ravage for $4 too. Was that store Dollarama? Because that's what sold it here, Fire Prime. In fact, that's why I ended up with that Ravage. Studio Series Gamer Edition Steve. Yeah, right. That thing looks weird. I think they did mention the gold would blend in with the yellow, so that's why they matched the optics blue. They did mention that, but it's still wrong. And you painted the other stuff gold. So for what it's worth, they said on Pulse that I know what they said on Pulse. It's not worth anything. Nothing they say is worth anything. They are corporate chills. Stop believing the words that spew out of their mouth. They are trying to take your money. I don't understand why people don't get this. They do these not because they're excited to show you product. They do this so that you want it and will give them money. They're doing it to shill their products on you. They're salesmen, right? They're designers, but they're salesmen, right? Creator, but when they're on the live streams, they're a corporate man. Tetrajet just looks strange. It does look strange, but it's so good. Already got Skywalker on pre-order. Fair enough. The Tetrajet reminds me of Captain Power. Interesting. I don't remember him having one like that, but I'm not going to say that there weren't any. So many Seekers. I agree, Grimlock on. Funny that a robot in the video game-centric line looks like Master Chief. I agree. I thought that was funny, too. I do like the new helicopter blades for the 86 version. I like the new helicopter blades, too. But I'm not spending $80 to get new helicopter blades. I mean, that's insane. I just got third-party Steeljaw that turns into RL sized. I don't know what RL is. Real life, I guess. Size cassette. Yeah, I know that. Is it who does that? MMC? Who does that? Is that Ocular Max? They're supposed to be very, very good. Looks like Qbert but blue. Looks like Qbert but blue. Oh, you win for quote of the day. Strax has had me excited until they said Hasbro Pulse. Yeah, for sure. How come his pickaxe isn't four-sided? Because it serves as wings for his weird little mode thing. Straxus is blue, Qbert. That Bumblebee is fugly. I agree. It is. I think it's terrible. It's Bumper. Yeah, it's Bumper or it's Hubcap. It's not. It's, yeah, Bumper. I can see Bumper for sure. It's not Bumblebee. I like Strax's alt mode too. I'm with you there. Hasbro didn't have the rights to the VW to make him a bug, but they had it to do it before. So if maybe they should have done it when they had the rights. They have the mold. This is a waste of time and money that went into developing this bee, and it looks awful. I don't mind it. Bumblebee G1 animation model tends to look like that. No, it doesn't. That's very square. That looks nothing like the G1 animation model at all. I'm not indulging that, Keldeo. I'm not even indulging that. It looks nothing like Bumblebee. Bumblebee is a round, bulbous, chubby little lad. This isn't. It's not Bumblebee. You can slap a head on it and you can call it Bumblebee, but it ain't Bumblebee. It's no more Bumblebee than Legacy Bulkhead is Bulkhead, and that ain't Bulkhead. Walmart paid to use the VW license. That's why, yeah, whatever. Either way, the license was there somewhere. Someone had it. And this isn't right. And it's not good. And I looked at it and was like, whew, great. I don't need to buy this. Because here's the thing. Netflix or this one or whatever, they all fail and pale in comparison to the actual champion of G1 Bumblebee. And the actual champion of G1 Bumblebee is still KBB's Hornets agent, right down to his tire being on his back. This is still the Bumblebee to beat, and I don't think anyone, official or not, will ever do it for mainline. I don't think it'll ever, ever happen. Let's see what we got next. Let's do this. So we talked about, yes, we're getting this Optimus Prime. I think it's 3.5 inches, so it's much smaller than the actual G1. It looks really sleek. It looks really shiny. I'm shocked that Hasbro allowed any other company to do any version of any character that actually transforms like this. It looks really cool. It comes with that weird blaster, not his actual ion cannon, which I think is strange. Very G1. It doesn't have the extra articulation of the missing link or anything, but it looks really good. 3.5 inches tall. Unfortunate, and it can display in both modes. Here it is next to the original. So you can see it's about a little less than half the size of the original. But here's the thing. As cool as this is and looks, it's $80 for 3.5 inches. I get that it's all die cast. But do you know, since this was announced, how many people have come to me and said, it's neat that they're doing this, but I have the missing link. I don't need this. I have the missing link. I don't need this. I have the missing link. I don't need this. And you know what I say to those people? You're right. You don't need this. I agree with you. Then we have, I'm going to try and blow through this now. This. And not for nothing, this is DNA Designs DK52, which, by the way, includes parts for Studio Series Cheetor and Studio Series Rhinox. Well, now they're going to throw in a battle mask face-plated head for Optimus Primal as well, if you want that. Cool, I guess. I don't have a problem, which surprises me, with him having his mouth. It's weird. It's always been weird, though. But I don't have a problem with him having his mouth. on the Studio Series 1. This is a cool head. I don't know if it would be enough to have me go in on this kit. I really wish they never canceled DK17. That was really cool. DK17 was a really cool set. Anyway, I mean, if you want to give your Studio Series Primal a plated head, you can see the difference down there with both of them. And I mean, not for nothing, you know, you can see it there. Yeah, look, sure, why not? How about this next? Okay, so we know that since 2020, Transformers Activate or Reactivate, or what we're going to call it, has been in works. Well, we finally now we got a teaser trailer, but it was dated for 2020. So, and it was all Rise. But now we have some character here. We've seen Optimus and we've seen Bumblebee before. But now we also have Ironhide. We have Power Glide, Sunstreaker, Sideswipe, I think, Windblade, Ratchet, Starscream, Shockwave. Shockwave looks a lot like Bumblebee movie Shockwave to me. Same with Megatron, looks a lot like the concept art Megatron to me. Soundwave, I like this knockout. I want a version of this knockout. It's more Transformers Prime than the Legacy Evolution one or Legacy one. And I think that's Skywarp, maybe Slipstream. That might be Slipstream, I'm not sure. But like, I could buy this as a version of Ironhide. Sure, why not? That looks Ironhide-y, more like Transformers Prime Ironhide. And does this, like it's not G1 Ironhide for sure. It's definitely stylized, but I can get this. He looks heavy duty. He's like a bad dude. I think this is already an even yellow stripe. Power Glide, I think Power Glide would be too big. I feel like do this at like a bigger size, and it's like, no, man, he's only a little guy. I mean, good looking design and stuff. I just feel like they would do him too, or at least too big for my taste. Look at the shoulders and stuff of our boy Knock here. Like, come on, that looks fantastic. And look at his blaster. I get that he's a mech, but dude is amped up for action. Like, even the way the comes over his shoulders. I love this. I think that this is so much better than what we've gotten in the Legacy line. This is just some of the screenshots from the trailer, so we can get out of this as well. You threw stuff here now because I kind of want to get to the trivia, the unboxing and stuff, and get out of here. And I will check in with you guys momentarily. Of course, the trilogy to modern, to movie, to studios, everything in between that you could possibly want. Well, available at that event was a core class. The core class Bumblebee Laserbeak that came out in Studio Series, except in like a translucent yellow. If you wanted it, cool. Here's what it looks like in package. Here's what it looks like at a package. The gray is not translucent. The black detail, I think, is still, solid and painted on. It's just the yellow is now translucent. If that's your thing. I don't know why they do. They do. We've been talking about, I guess I'll show this. And again, time it's Headstrong in purple. Purple Rhino looks cool. The robot looks cool. I can't really want to be on this. I want to see the Predator and see what that looks like with the purple and silver stuff. And this I think this is neat. So Bingo Toys doing a version of Grimlock. And you look at this and you might think to yourself, it's very G1 Grimlocky. And you're right. Even when we transform it, looks very G1 Grimlock. Now, we know that the original G1 Grimlock's molds apparently were lost. That's why he hasn't reissues. However, this is definitely in the vein and inspired by G1 Grimlock. And the idea is that this guy, who is about the size of G1 Grimlock, would fit right in with your missing link Optimus Prime. And if you're in for a $40 missing link Bumblebee, 40 US by the way, and a $40 missing link Clipper, why not go to yourself version of, that's right, Grimlock. Obviously the chest is more stylized from G1, but this guy has the added articulation, as you can see, right? The hips and stuff are still at the side. The shoulders have more movement. He has weight. You can see the way the knees are. There are actual ankles and feet. This obviously isn't quite missing because this isn't quite G1, but I think it could definitely be something that you fake it till you make it with Prime and your B and your clip jumper. I think it would fit in very, very nicely. I think this is a really neat idea. Very creative outing from Toys. And this is another example of what they're doing with Soundwave, where they're taking a Voyager, this part of the Star Raiders line for Walmart, and they're going to pack it with deluxe, and they're going to pack it with a cassette, and they're going to call it leader class price point. Now I can buy this a bit better than the Soundwave because the Soundwave is just cassettes. This is a deluxe, which by the way is based on Magnius here. This is so good that he is still in the run for a slot in top 10 of the year. Magnus is fantastic. So I would assume the new one will be the little cassette can go, and I don't know if I ever showed this. We have a peg hole on the top Thundertron, left two rectangular slots on the right shoulder. That's for the feet of Ratbat to go to, so he can have a bat shoulder, I guess, instead of Barrett. So that's fine. I'll do all of that, but at the end of it, it's still just the Voyager Thundertron. What's different on that one compared to the mainline one? All the difference is that the tail on the one is gray, the tail on the new one is black. The mainline gray, one they're black. The kind of bronzy colors on the shoulder, the claws on the hand, and the hips here is now a more of a yellow gold. And there will be a new head sculpt that is slightly different. Detail in the beard and the detail around the head is a little more angular, a little spiky, and there's an extra blue highlight on there. I prefer the duration on the main line, but if you prefer, oh, and instead of having two hands, one of his hands a hook on two personally. So I prefer the line. He's fantastic, really fun, really good, clever engineering. If you don't have him, maybe get the. I'm going to be double dipping on it, but great mold. Really, really great mold. What news I didn't cover, and then we'll do trivia, unboxing, and get out of here. And I thought I was going to be a little bit earlier than I was, trying to figure out what's going on here with the camera. So the Marvel Sunbow archive now has Blaster Blues up. The storyboards for Blaster Blues is up there. We already talked about the Claire B. We talked about the exhibit that shows everything. Bingo Toys Grimlock we talked about. The Dr. Wu Alita 1 and the Broadside. Oh, by the way, the Broadside comes with 5 1-centimeter planes that you can put on him. The Reactivate stuff we went through. I like that Ratchet from Reactivate and that Sunstreaker for the record. Let's see. In the teaser, they still talk about the Legion that is basically causing the Autobots and the Decepticons to unite. So that seems like it's still a thing, whatever the Legion is. I assume it's going to be Quintessons or something. We already talked about the Thundertron. By the way, the name of the Magnus repaint is going to be Calcitron, and the Ratbat is going to be Night Strike, who's based on a full-size, I think, RID 2015 character of the same name. I don't remember a Night Strike, and it's more obscure, but when I see a picture of Night Strike, it's a full-size bot. It's not a little Micromaster. But nevertheless, we saw some reunion, the 40th reunion, table read thing, cups and popcorn. Some of those shows are, in fact, happening in Canada. Not here, but they are happening in Canada. One of them happened last night on my birthday. And I was like, man, what a bummer What a bummer that I didn't get to experience that for my birthday. Legacy, Nucleus, Sideburn, Cybertron Hotshot, and a repack of Strongarm is out in Australia. So that wave is already out in Australia. We already talked about the Bingo Toys Jazz as well. The Tuesday stream, I think we talked about all of that. I don't think that there was anything new there that I missed. No, I think I covered all that. Funko 40th anniversary Buzzsaw and Laserbeak. They look a little chibi with oversized heads if you're into that. The Mattel Optimus Prime, the one that's $80. Pre-orders will start for that on May the 21st. Yes, it's very G1. I don't know how this is going to do. Coming out on the heels of Missing Link, I don't know how this is going to do. I guess it depends on how badly you want to have die-cast in your Optimus, right? We already talked about the Transformers 1 stuff, the DNA design stuff. And finally, we get to Earthspark. So Earthspark Season 2 is debuting June the 7th with the first 9 episodes. We have seen a lot of details and episode names and stuff. However, a new rumor suggests that Earthspark has had lower ratings than expected and will be canceled after Season 2. What a shame. Easily the best fiction since Transformers Prime. Ruined by fans. 100% Earthspark was ruined by fans. Fans of two sorts. One, fans that saw the G1 clips in it and said, this isn't G1, and immediately hated it. And two, bigots. And that's all I'm going to say. And they have ruined something beautiful. I hope that that rumor is false. I sincerely hope that rumor is false, because if it's true, it's going to turn me off from a lot of this fandom, because the fans have panned this before it came out. I feel the same way about wrestling fans, because they automatically love one company and hate the other. It's time for people to just be a fan of something and not ruin it before you've even given it a chance. Trivia. If you're given a chance you don't like it, that's different. Trivia. This week, the movies have given us several characters that never actually appeared in any of the live-action movies. One of them was Scout Class Depth Charge. How tall was Scout Class Depth Charge supposed to be? So he was originally all planned. We got a Scout Class offering of him. How tall was he supposed to be? Based on his alt mode and based on, I guess how that would scale and stuff, and they go for realistic scales and stuff, or they try to in the movies, or so they say. How tall should he have been? Should he have been A, 25 feet, B, 75 feet, C, 15 feet, or D, 150 feet? 25 feet, 75 feet, 15 feet, or 150 feet? What do you guys think? How tall should he have been? Metal Hawk didn't shell form here, but we didn't see a lot of them either. All I want from animated is Ratchet, Blitzwing, and Commander Class Lugnut. I'd be fine with the Leader Class Lugnut. No, maybe Commander Class. Lockdown. I think the Lockdown you're going to get is going to be the Star Raiders one. I wouldn't hold my breath, at least not yet, for an animated Lockdown. How many legacy figures to reissue, like Tarn, Galaxy Shuttle, Ramjet, Dirge? Let's reissue. Well, all of those that you mentioned, though, Flair, they're literally reissuing all of those. Dirge has already been reissued. Tarn is being reissued again, plus he's in the 4-pack. Galaxy Shuttle is being reissued. Ramjet is being reissued. So they're all coming, which says a lot if you tell me. Now, in Caldeo's case, he says, I don't have a Quake. Then get this Quake. I have the Titans Return. Slipstream. Hey, Mecca. Not for anything, but KBB's Oversized Hornets Agent is pretty close to animation accurate in the bug mode. It's close in both modes to the animation. Very close in both modes to the animation. And that's a testament really to New Age, because the KBB is a oversized KO of the first New Age. Hasbro Pulse had Metal Hawk on clearance for a long time, too. That's because Pulse doesn't service everywhere. So unless you live in a place that services, yeah, it's going to rot on there. Let's see. Liked Earthspark for its creative characters and my favorite version of Skywarp. DC 75 feet. B. The answer is D, 150 feet. His alt mode is actually a Visby class corvette, which is a small warship. In robot mode, he should be 150 feet, making him currently what should be the biggest mainline transformer. Movie depth charge from Revenge of the Fallen. Revenge of the Fallen? I think it's Revenge of the Fallen. Should be the biggest live action movie transformer at 150 feet. Who knew? Who knew? Okay, let's do this and get out of here. So first things first, I'm just going to kind of review very quickly what I did get for my birthday. I've already shown this, but then I'll show what I have for tonight. That is, it's not new, but it's going to be new to us, and it's going to be the reviews for next week. So the very first thing I got was this Enterprise from Ultra Megatronus, and I only had a chance to look at this Enterprise today. Yes, it has a display stand, which is great, and yes, you can turn it on, and the lights come on, and there's a way. I don't know if you can hear that. Like if you move it, it'll make the sounds like the ship. There's a light on top. Then there's these 3 buttons on the back. This back one gives us a photon torpedo. And a phaser. The second one gives us bridge sounds and red alert. And then here, which we didn't have in Canada on the original. On the original, way back in the 90s, this button was missing. It was here, but it was just molded plastic. You couldn't press it. There was nothing there. But because this one came from a target in the US, from our buddy Ultra Megatronus,
lock on photon torpedoes.
There's Riker saying lock on photon torpedoes. Fire says Picard. Engage says Picard. Red alert says Picard.
Raise the shield.
Raise the shield says Riker. And there's another button up here. This wasn't on the original either, where you can press that and separate the saucer section. I love this thing. I'm a big Star Trek fan, not a Star Wars fan. Starscream wife is, but really happy with that, really thankful. Ultra Megatronus also sent me, as we know, Origins Wheeljack. So he was also a birthday gift. And not for nothing. Oh, let me just lay that there. Not for nothing. On Tuesday, I reviewed. By the way, tomorrow's review is actually going to be that depth charge, that little Scout class depth charge. I reviewed on Tuesday this guy. It is Big Convoy. And I said it was on loan to me by our buddy Eric. Eric saw the review and told me to keep it. It is a birthday gift to me now from Eric. This is the version I always wanted. Man, oh man, do I really wish that DK-17, which is the Matrix Buster, did not get canceled. So I actually do have the anime edition of Big Convoy in my collection, thanks to Eric. He did not have to do that. I feel wildly guilty having it, but man, I'm so very thankful. Now, tonight, 2 things. This will be tomorrow's review. I already mentioned him. I said it was going to be tomorrow's review. It is the Scout class version of Depth Charge, not the Beast Wars lad. This guy should be 150 feet. And then next Tuesday, this is an oldie, and I've never looked at any version of this character at all. I don't remember him from the movie at all, even though I know he was in it. And when the scenes and stuff is pointed out to me, I'm like, oh yeah. But do you think I ever remember Jolt? Have not looked at any version of Jolt. Star of the Studio Series was like, I don't even know this character. This is the original, and you know what? This is still shockingly pretty fun. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a lot to like about Jolt. So he will be Tuesday's review. So the pickups tonight, Jolt on loan to us by Maximal 10, as well as Depth Charge. That's it for tonight. That's it. We're done here. I thought I might have 1 or 2 other things to show you. They might have to wait till next week. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.